Hey there, everybody. Mandy and Chris here. If you were with us last week, we kind of introduced ourselves a little bit. And I know a lot of you follow me here on IG. And Chris is just I don't know, what do you hear on IG? Yeah. I see Vanda's joining. Hey there, everybody. So we asked y'all to ask us some questions, and we actually got some pretty funny questions, honestly.
Yeah.
But so we were going to go over some of them with you and just kind of answer them, because I don't know why y'all want to know all this about us, but it's kind of funny. But we wanted to start out with one particular question, because this one was like really important to us, and it'll probably take up most of our time here. But you're acting like we're about to.
No way. I'm waiting on
He's
you.
like
I'm
yeah.
breathing.
Acting like we're
You
going
have
to talk
to
about
breathe to
something
live.
really, really important. But nothing to get nervous about, I promise.
I ain't nervous.
When you need a break for a minute, do you support each other, and how? This one, of all the questions on stories, really stood out to us because, we're both very supportive of each other, and I think that's what marriage is all about. We don't agree with each other all the time. There are some things that I do and he does, and both of us just shake our heads a lot of times. And
Yes.
yeah, but support is the biggest thing, especially whenever our kids were really little and we had 3 under 3. It was, it was harder then than I think it is now. That's for sure. It was harder then in general. I do think that it is now, but we both, we really do. I don't know. It's not a hard question, but it's one of those questions that...
It's just part of life to us.
Yeah.
I don't know no other way.
We don't know any other way. But supporting doesn't always mean agreeing. And
No.
I think that's what we need to establish
No.
here, because I don't always agree with him. He doesn't always agree with me. Yeah.
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 So you just...
I don't know.
You take it in stride and you compromise and you move on and you don't worry about it.
That's the
So
thing.
many people just give up because they argue. I suggest you never get married if you think you're not going to argue, because that's a joke.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
We don't argue.
No, I say something wrong and then you get mad and we just fuss and fight for 30 minutes because I said the wrong thing.
We're very passionate
And my
people.
tone is terrible when
Yeah.
I speak,
Well-
because I'm too harsh with my tone.
You're saying this like you hear this a lot.
I'm having a confession moment.
Well, that brings us to the next one where was
fight.
it? Do we fight? Do y'all fight, and how often?
Yeah, it's basically dumb stuff because I say the wrong thing.
It is not just you. Don't make them feel bad for you.
I don't. I'm not making them feel bad for me. I'm owning up to my idiotic words that come out of my mouth because I don't know how to stop sometimes. It just comes out. It may not mean nothing what it sounded like, but it sounds 10 times worse than what it was.
I would say most of our fights start because of attitudes that we have, and just in general, I would say, right? And the tone that we speak, and yeah. So we definitely, we fight. We fight a lot. Our kids fight because I think all 5 of us are pretty passionate people, and we, some are louder than others.
Yes.
I do believe. I'm not the loud one of the bunch.
I am.
Yeah, Chris is the loud
And
one.
all 3 kids are loud.
Yeah, so
Oh,
they need to
Jesus.
feel sorry for me now.
Yeah, they do.
But I
But
mean,
she does get her high pitched scream in every once in a while, and the kids freak out and think somebody took over mom's body. So they get their attention anyway when she's had enough. So it takes a lot for her to pop. Me, on the other hand, I pop often just to relieve the valve and the pressure. I can't keep that junk inside. Sorry.
no.
But I have to say a lot of I'm sorries and make amends, and because I'm human. I'm striving every day to get better. That don't mean it's gonna be perfect. Like I said before, there was only one perfect human being walked the earth. As far as I know right now, he's not here no more, but he's waiting.
Right.
So we can try and try and try, but if we didn't have His grace,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no possibilities for you to even go anywhere. I mean, so it's still, in the sense, it has nothing to do with us.
Right.
It's about the good Lord, and His grace, because
And I think
that's the only reason why we're probably still together, is because
of God's grace.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's it.
I mean, that kind of goes back to that first question that they asked us: how do you support each other? And that our faith, having faith in God, is the support for each other, wouldn't you say? Because
Yeah.
I mean, without Him and His grace, we might not still be together. Not saying that we don't love each other, we do, but relationships take a lot of work. Being in a relationship takes a lot of work. Supporting each other takes a lot of work. We even, we joke about this all the time, but Chris is the realist and I'm the dreamer. So I dream up a lot of things, and then he's like, oh, okay, realistically, let's back up here. And so I felt like, especially at the beginning of our marriage, I was like, dude, you're squashing my dreams. I mean, he's a dream squasher. But now I realize that he is a support. I mean, he's a supporter. He's just, he's just trying to meet me in the middle and help me establish those dreams. And
Well, I try not to be as bad, but I do. I see a lot of the what if could happen stuff, and it just, it's part of my makeup. I mean,
everybody's different.
And then I'm trying my best, you got to look past, my problem is I don't look far enough ahead. She can see farther ahead, far as visions and just, goals and dreams. Me, I'm seeing the obstacles that we've got to get over and around to get there, and it just, I don't know.
Right.
I'm
We're
a
all
product of my upbringing, probably, but
well, I mean, but that's what balance. If it was like, if we had two dreamers and two realistic people, I think maybe
we'd just be standing in a circle looking up.
I don't know what we would be doing, but I mean, and it may work for other people. You may be in a relationship where, your husband is a realist too, and so are you, but y'all make it work. But we make it work over here too. We balance each other out really good. And I think the biggest thing about us supporting each other is having God in our life, because there are lots of times where I don't agree with him and he doesn't agree with me, but we have to sit back and we got to really think about, okay, but God's in the middle of this, and how can we make this work? And at the end of the day, like we've said, relationships take work. Marriage takes a lot of work. I think that was one of those things that I wish that somebody would have told me at the beginning. Not saying it would have changed anything. I still would have married him, but it takes a lot of work. Probably, that and parenting is probably two of the most,
Yes.
It's the hardest thing.
Parenting is a very big challenge.
Whole another ball field.
When you're responsible for just one,
Yeah.
and then you throw two more on top of you, that can freak you out.
Yeah.
I mean, but God's grace again has brought us through everything. I mean, because without Him, we wouldn't have had them. And this doesn't mean that we're some self-righteous, holier than thou couple. My God, we don't pray enough like we should. We don't, love like we should some days.
Right.
We don't treat each other or others the way we should some days. We're human. We're not going to be perfect. I mean, if I've told people this once before, well, what you see with me is what you get most all the time. And if there's something out there I don't agree with, I may just tell you, I don't agree with you. But that don't mean we can't be friends or something. But, I'm not going to just succumb to, hey, I'll agree with that. In the same way with Mandy, I'm not just going to agree with her to pacify her. I don't do that. I mean,
He doesn't.
I'm on my own path. I've been on my own path since I was brought into the world, I think. But we both are very headstrong, and we both have strong wills. But God knew what He was doing when He brought us together, because His way is the way.
Right.
It don't matter if we obey every time to Him. His way is still better, and we'll eventually make it back around to where we should have been going in the first place and start walking ahead again.
And we do that a lot.
That
we
happens
go in
at least
circles.
twice a week.
Yeah.
I mean, you're spinning.
We go in circles a lot, but I think some of you here on IG, I talk about Chris a lot. I talk about Chris in my posts and stuff. And I talk about our relationship, but the reason why we do that is because we want you to see that there are moments behind closed doors that do suck. There are times where we don't agree with each other. And somebody said you don't conform to each other and that makes it work. We don't conform to each other because we don't try to make each other into something different. We are not those types of people anyway. You would really have to I don't think that's possible sometimes. I mean, which comes to, another question. Who is the strong-willed one? Both of us are very strong-willed. We're very passionate people about, and he's more passionate about certain things than I am. So, and vice versa. So it's work, y'all. It's not just, we don't live this fairy tale life. We don't, because we do love each other. We're in love with each other. We've been together for 15 years, 15 plus 5 months. We only knew each other for 5 months before we got married. But but it works because we work it. And thank God it works because God gives us grace to make it work. Because don't think that there are some Saturday nights that we do not let 3 and 4 letter words fly, and then on Sunday morning we go to church.
Not me.
Anyway, yeah. It's life. It's real. It's real life. Let's see. So one of them is, how does it feel to have the best niece and nephew in the world? So a little bit backstory here. Chris has a brother that's 16 years older than him. He has a niece and a nephew who are both married and have children of their own. They're closer to our kids' ages. So anyway, they think that they're our best niece and nephew in the world.
We have some crazy dynamics in my family.
Yeah.
The age.
It's crazy. Somebody asked what our future plans are.
To survive parenthood. to make it out alive.
To survive
and
marriage.
That they make it in the world.
Yeah.
Without staying here forever. Now I know how my parents felt. I stayed way too long.
Oh my gosh. And to be sufficient adults. Again, I'm the dreamer. He's the realist. So, we have lots and lots of plans.
I ain't saying that. It'll be terrible the day they have to move out. Really. Because even if they're away from us one night, you're lost because you're used to having.
Normal. We're talking about marriage, though, not parenting.
But it's all tied to us because that is us.
That's true.
I mean, feels like 98% of our life is parenting, and then we go to sleep. And
Yes.
we're married at sleep. Okay, I'll see you in the morning.
That's that's marriage. I mean, guys, and if y'all are going through that right now, the trenches of parenthood, it's okay because everybody else is going through it too.
And we thought it was hard when we only had our daughter.
Yeah.
We were stupid.
Some people might just have one kid.
Well,
though.
I'm just being honest from our perspective.
True.
We thought it was hard, and then we threw in twins.
He's still playing this twin card, like, yeah.
Well,
to feel sorry.
God blessed us with them. I'm gonna talk about them,
That's
whether it's good
true.
or bad.
That's very true. We have
they're
every
good.
right to talk about them.
They're typical kids. They're not bad. They're just typical. So
yes. I mean,
they do what kids do.
They do what kids do.
Anyway, sorry.
Yes. Back to marriage, because we're talking about marriage here. That's what I hear anyway.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. It changed when you have children.
Again,
but
you're talking about kids.
But it's good.
Stop.
Well, the dynamic of marriage has changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time.
The whole dynamic changes
the whole
your life.
dynamic changes whenever you have kids. Because
Trying to, on the spur of the moment, find somebody just to watch the kids for a couple hours or something, just so you can go eat dinner by yourself.
With your spouse, and not
that's a big deal.
Yeah, and not say a word and just eat.
We just eat and
because
just sitting quiet and
it's so nice. Yeah.
Remember what it was like when we were just us.
We took it for granted. We took it for granted all the time. But yeah. I think let the man talk. I'm letting him talk. He's talking plenty.
It's funny.
But yeah. In that
there's our wedding picture on the wall. Look. Who is that?
I know, it's like totally different people, but it's good. It's like you said at the beginning, though.
I should get it and show it to them.
Anyway, it was like the thing that you said at the beginning. You said something. I don't even remember now. It's like totally. Anyway.
At the beginning.
I don't know. Anyway.
Love.
But anyway, this month is all about love. It's February, so we figured this would be a great time to start the marriage talk.
That's all you go by once a year in your marriage, you got trouble. Because I can tell you.
Anyway, it starts it right now. So, yeah. How to...
Show us the
This
picture.
one is funny. How do you get away from your kids? I don't really know what this like.
Mandy hides in the closet. I found her in there. So what are you doing? I'm getting a moment of quiet. I said, okay. I've got him. I'll see you later.
I'm thinking that they're saying like, how do you do you make a date maybe? I don't know, but yeah.
Sometimes we try to.
We do. We try to.
But we got to make sure we got, someone to watch the kids. And it's usually grandparents or basically just grandparents. So
we have date nights at home too sometimes where we'll watch a movie or something.
And we
sometimes,
fall asleep. Because we're like, we're exhausted, but we just want to hang out, and just trying to stay up to watch a movie is different. I mean, because we're so used to being in the bed, going to bed early, trying to get the kids to bed early. So we've got a couple hours just to sit together and just chill, because
sometimes y'all, it's not like a deep conversation.
No.
We're like
most times she says something, I go, yeah, look at this, yep,
yep.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah.
Again, the dynamic has changed, but it's still it's good. It's not bad at all. This one kind of made me laugh. How do you make time for each other juggling 3 kids, work, and life? PG version, please. I don't...
What part are they talking about here?
I think just how do we juggle all of it and then I guess keep the kids alive? I mean, every day that we keep the kids alive is a good day.
Well,
so.
The things I try to do to just little stuff to do for her, I try to, especially now that I'm here more, I try to make her coffee and give it to her, or sit it on her stand. Just little stuff, because sometimes that's all you got.
Yeah.
And she may go off to the store and bring me some kind of candy or something I like, just it doesn't, I don't require much. I mean, but I try to do little things, and just trying to be her partner, her equal, and the person that married her, and love her like I'm supposed to.
Right.
Like she's always tells me, when we have argued, and we have argued a lot in our marriage because there's times it was rough, but she would always say, your action speaks louder than your words or your I'm sorry's. So, I mean, after 15 years, you're thinking, it's actually, some things are finally sinking in, because old ways are hard to change. And that's not saying anything that it's bad, she's bad or I'm bad. It's just, your ways are your ways, and you dictate how you portray your ways to people. And when that's been established for so long, that's a hard thing to change.
It's hard habits to break,
but you can.
But you do it slowly. Together.
Yeah, and you work at it, and you try to be,
we all have those
more
habits.
Compassion, more consideration, and things, and I'm seeing it more, and I think I'm sure some of it's my age finally, because my dad as a younger man and my mom were both pretty hotheads from what I heard, and my dad mellowed out, but it was a long time later.
Right.
And to see him the way he is now versus the way he was younger, and my brother can attest to this, is that it's a big change. So your age and time changes things.
It does. And I mean, there are things that I was very independent before we got married, and so I had to change my ways and always include him in certain things, like, or just my decisions. That was different. So it's always, you do have to change a lot of things, but you change them together, and I mean, you grow together. And that's what I was going to say earlier, was that you were saying that every day we should be striving to be better than what we were yesterday. And that's the key, to marriage, I think, is because we're all striving to try to be better than we were yesterday in this marriage together. And is it perfect? No. Does it suck some days? Yes. When we were younger and the kids were younger, I packed up the car before and been like, I'm leaving, I'm done, but it's always God saying in the background, no, you're not, you're going to stick this out, and y'all are going to grow together. And that's what's been so fun. Well, not always fun, but that's what has made us better. These were kind of funny, and we'll just touch on these just a little bit. There were a couple other questions. Who cooks the meals? Used to, I was the main cook in the family, but it's kind of turned now, and he's more the cook now. Things have just, a lot. I mean, but it's, he's preparing more now. Now that both of us are working full time and doing all that, we really do trade out the chores, and we've always been like that. So I mean, it's equal, I think, with a lot of things. And how many kids did you want? I don't know. We didn't really have a number, did we? I mean, I wanted a big family, but I don't know if we really ever put a number on it. God did, but we didn't. So, this one really kind of cracked me up. Who was the most rebellious as a teen? Well, so we didn't know each other as teens. Yeah. We didn't meet each other until I was 25 and 31.
We couldn't have known each other when we was teens. I would have went to jail.
That's true, because he's 6 years older than me. That's very true. But so he didn't know me in my teen years, but it was probably good that he didn't know me in my teen years. We'll just leave it at that. So, yeah. I mean, I
was no angel, though.
No, I mean, neither one of us were, but let me just put it to you this way. Our 3 kids do anything, I will know what they do before they even do it, probably, just because I've already done it. So, Anyway,
That's cute.
we'll just leave it at that. So, anyway, I hope this, if anything, makes you feel better about your marriage, because not all no marriage is perfect. And I mean, it may look like on the surface that we have it all together. I hope it doesn't look like we have it all together, because that's not what I want to portray us as. But we have our issues just like anybody else. We fight over the stupidest things some days. And we say the stupidest things to each other. But at the end of the day, one of my best friends was actually telling me yesterday, she said, y'all are so funny together, because we really do bounce off of each other. We have somewhat of the same sense of humor. I don't know. I think mine's a little bit quirkier than his, but I mean, for the most part, what are you doing that face for?
I was opening my eyes.
But, I mean, we both just try to find the humor in real life every day too. And that's how we are with our kids. We pick around with them constantly.
And now they're sarcastic.
Now, yeah, we've created some monsters, man. But that's society's problem pretty soon. Not ours.
They're pretty witty with it too. That's what's scary. So
yeah. But just know that you are not alone. We are not perfect. And nobody really expects you to be perfect in marriage either. I think society makes you feel like it, or maybe you make yourself kind of feel like that. But honestly, in all honesty, just let it go.
Let it go.
Just
let it go.
So anyway, I know we took up a lot.
Oh wow.
Good Lord, we can talk a lot.
You can.
Anyway. So thank y'all for being here. We're going to try to keep doing this every Thursday night. We changed the time a little bit this week just to see if, it was a better time for everybody. So we may change it up a little bit more next week, but every Thursday. So as long as y'all want to see us, we're going to be here. So thank y'all.
Peace.
What is that? Peace.